谢你。Okay, here we go. We got really spicy noodles. And you know it's good when they give you a ladle. Well, that's one way of describing it. So there's this guy, a foreigner, living in China. Up and down China he goes, zipping around, getting into adventures, frosty, frosty, frosty. And of course he likes to get from point A to point B. Now he knows where he wants to go, of course, but since he can't read Chinese, this becomes a little bit of a problem. So he gets into a tuk-tuk. Google it. But is this a viable means of transportation? Is it safe? Is it really something you want to try? Hello. You're in my shot. Let's talk about it. So today I want to talk about the auto-rickshaws. Otherwise known as like tuk-tuks in India and Sri Lanka. And what I like to call the Jolly Trolley. Really good noodles. For the sake of identity, there's basically two types of auto rickshaws, tuk-tuks, or Jolly Trolleys out there. There's a kind that's motor driven with like a motorcycle engine in front, and then there's your pedal driven variety, which is basically a glorified bicycle with a love seat on the back. So when I first came to China, everyone's saying, don't try the auto rickshaws, the tuk-tuks, the Jolly Trolley. Don't try them, stay away, they're dangerous. And yeah, I listened, of course. I, took only buses, rides with friends, stayed away from them. But there came a time, usually late at night, when nothing's running. Now, I don't live in a big town. I don't live in Shenzhen, Guangzhou, or one of these towns that's open all night, where, there's transportation at all hours of the night. There's no subway here, no metro. And so the buses and public transportation have a tendency to shut down pretty much on the dime at 8 p.m. This town shuts down. So I live in a tier 88 city in China. So you're faced with a choice. Do you walk, or do you risk the tuk-tuk, the auto rickshaw, the Jolly Trolley? And so I tried it. And like anything else, as long as you've got clear directions, they'll take you where you want to go. They're pretty safe to a point. You got to keep in mind, there's nothing in between you and other drivers, which may not seem like a big deal until you consider in China, driving is an adventure. And I mean it truly in the Indiana Jones point of view, adventure. They're not exactly well put together. There's a little bit of corrugated steel, little canvas, motorcycle engine, and 3 very small wheels came off a scooter, like an old 1960s Vespa, for example. So they're not well put together, but they're cheap. You can get across town for like 10, 15 ply. We're talking 2 or 3 US dollars for transportation all the way across town. So the auto rickshaw, again, tuk-tuk, Jolly Trolley, whatever you want to call it, is pretty much caught in the middle here. It's a very small vehicle that has no protection, low visibility, and other cars are, well, they could care less. They just want to go. Nobody really cares about anyone else here. Again, EMH, every man for himself. So I cannot tell you how many times I have seen the auto rickshaw, the Jolly Trolley, tuk-tuk, whatever you want to call it, just get clobbered. And you're pretty psyched because there's no protection in these things. There's no airbags, no seatbelts, no anything between you and 4,000 pounds of Chinese-driven angry steel. Of course, people love to gawk here, and whenever a auto rickshaw gets hit, Everyone stops. The whole part of the street stops. Everyone just kind of stands there and looks. And usually the police will show up whenever they show up. It's not uncommon. It's actually pretty much regular. When an auto rickshaw gets hit, it's going to flip over, get mangled, twisted. There's usually a lot of screams. It's not a pretty sight. And hopefully, if everyone is supremely lucky, nobody's dead. So here's the other thing about the auto rickshaw, the Jolly Trolleys. There's no really fixed price at all. I've had the same journey from the same place at the same time, just on different days of the week, and it'll cost me a different price. It might be, 5 kwai, might be 10, 15, even 20. It really depends on the driver. Of course, if he has to go out of his way, if he didn't understand the location, if you happen to have one of these, white face, yeah, they may or may not want to take advantage of you, and all is well. They do provide a service, though. Last thing about the auto rickshaws is personal safety. Now, I gotta say, probably 99 times out of 100, it's China. You got nothing to worry about. They're probably gonna take you where you want to go, but do have an idea where you're going. It takes you almost no time at all to find a map. On Google, now if you're in China, there's no Google, but you still have Bing, Baidu, Yahoo. You can find a map of where you're going and have a general idea of where you're going, because it's pretty rare, but occasionally a driver may see a white guy, a foreigner, and they may drive you to some other location where they have a couple of friends waiting to beat you senseless and take your wallet. It doesn't happen very often. As a matter of fact, I've only heard of 2 times of this happening to someone, but have an idea. If you see you're going somewhere where you don't want to go, either tell the driver to stop. Worst case scenario, you act like Lee Majors in the Fall Guy and you roll out. But hey, go move slow enough, you can probably do that. Just have an idea of where you're going. It's like I tell my kids, always be aware of your surroundings, because, well, you never know. 99 times out of 100, you're fine, but it's only that one time something bad happens. So, top tip, be aware. Hey, I appreciate you guys watching. Like anything else, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, stay frosty. Hello. Huh? It's got a printer on this thing there. That's awesome.